My dear subscribers, this video is a confession of a crazy old woman. How about a crazy wild woman? How about just a crazy person? How many paper trimmers do you own? You're probably not as crazy as I am. You probably have one, maybe two. Not me. I'm going to go through the ones that I have, and I'm going to figure out how to give them star ratings and the reasons why I like a particular trimmer and why I don't like a particular trimmer. Maybe I'll help you make a decision, or maybe not. I don't know. This is one of the after effects of watching several different haul videos over the years. And yeah, I don't need any more paper trimmers. Okay, let's get started. This first one is a Fiskars Rotary Trimmer. Since about 2009, 8 or 9, I didn't want to go to the expense of buying the Tonic Studios Guillotine Trimmer. So this was like $40 or something. That opens this way, and you put your paper in. It has a rotary blade in there. It is sometimes really hard to get up to change the paper, so I don't like that. And the next thing I don't like is that this only goes, you can't even see, I've got such a mess here. I still have a mess. This only goes to like 10.5 inches. This does not, you can't cut 12 by 12 paper on this. Something over here in this little pocket is a spare rotary blade. Well, that's the blade that's in there. And and here is a little magnetic area for paper clips, if you have them. But this, if you don't have to do anything wider than 8.5 by 11, this would probably be a good trimmer for you. It does cut well, and the blade, unlike some of the others, this blade does a clean cut because it's a rotary razor blade. There's the blade right there, and when you press down, then that puts the blade on the paper to cut. When you let go, it raises it back up, so you can run your fingers. You can run your fingers underneath there and not worry about getting cut until the blade is lowered. And then keep your fingers out of the way. But this does give clean cuts. This one is a sliding blade trimmer and scoring thing, and this is by Recollections, Michael's brand, and it has this fold out thing where you can do, let's see, it goes all the way out to 17 inches out here, so you can do 12 by 12 really well. It's just like any other sliding blade trimmer. You have to replace the blades. This one is a little complicated in trying to figure out how to get this out to replace the blade. And I don't even remember how I put the sliding thing in. Now, this gets a 1 star. And the reason why it only rates 1 star is because the people that packaged this, their information, the Recollection stuff, was taped to the face here. Gooey tape. And I peeled it up to get it out of the way, and it took the markings with it and left sticky glue behind. And I tried to use alcohol to get the sticky glue off, and more of the markings came off. So this thing rates only 1 star for me, even though it does go out to 17 inches and cuts 12 by 12 paper. I don't know how to get this blade off without busting this sliding arm, and I don't know how to get the score thing off. So the next one I have is another Fiskars, and I don't use this very much. It's still in the packaging. This is 5.5 inches wide. And let's see, this doesn't go, nope, this does not open any further. So if you were needing to cut 8.5 by 11, this would not be any good for you because it does not expand. And it only goes out to 5.5 inches by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a wire in here. I don't know how I can best show you the wire. Let's see. There, where my thumb is. There's a wire there. And this sliding blade runs along that wire. And the blade cuts on one or the other sides of the wire. These blades are easy to replace. Just pull them out. There's a little area right here. You see this open space right here? That's where you drop the new blade in, and then you take the blade out there. Just like that. It's a good trimmer for small stuff, not for anything big. But I don't like these blades because after a while your paper will have ragged edges. You won't have clean lines, clean cuts. I have here is an Exacto, and this is a rotary cutter, and it expands out to, I think, about 16 inches, and you can cut 12 by 12 paper with this, and it has some good markings on the front where you line things up, like for 5 by 7, 4 by 6, 3.5 by 5, and 2.5 by 3.5. So there's some markings. And the markings, the grid marking on the front is really good. This, however, is another story. You would think that with a rotary blade that this would cut good, but you have to press super hard on this and it skips in the cuts, but it doesn't cut all the time. and there's the rotary blade right there. So I would give this, I'd give this 2.5 stars. It's just this thing. This thing is pretty wild. Leave it. Alright, this is a Fiskars sliding blade trimmer. And I do use this on occasion, not very often. Whoops, there went the blade. And it has the cutter and it has the scoring thing. It comes out to 16 inches, this arm will, and you can cut 12 by 12 on this. You can fit a full sheet of 12 by 12. This, for those that are on the metric system, this would be good for you guys. The centimeters are first, and then the inches, both on the top and on the bottom. So the centimeters are at the top and the inches are at the bottom. And on this sliding thing, the centimeters are along this part and the inches are along this part. So this would be good for someone. Oh, and on the pull-out, the centimeters are along the top and the inches are along the bottom. So this would be a good paper trimmer for anyone on the metric system, and it's a Fiskars. And I like this one, and I do use it every once in a while, and I like it because it has a scoring doodad. And then the blade, and like all the other sliding blade trimmers, getting this out to replace the blade is sometimes tricky, not always. A set of extra blades, you get like 2 for about $5 or $6, and these last pretty long. These will last me a long time because I don't use this very often. But if you use yours a lot, you'll probably have to replace your blades frequently. See me use almost all the time. And this is a Fiskars. It's a small guillotine trimmer. It's 5¼ inches by, I think, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, yes, by probably 8.5. To go underneath this this thing right here. But I like this thing. It's small. I can use it without problems on all of my crazy piles that I have up here. If it rocks, that's alright, because when I put my paper under, then I'll hold on to it with this thing here and then just press that down. And I really like this thing. It's small, it's compact, it does a really good job, and I don't have to replace the blade, and I don't have to sharpen it because it's self-sharpening. And it doesn't expand. This is all that it is, and I really, really, really like this one. So this one I would give a 5-star. It's just no fuss, no muss. I did go and buy the Tonic Studios paper trimmer. I saw this while I was watching some videos for Club Scrap. You can't see this whole thing. This thing goes on forever. What?
I'm going outside for work.
You're going outside? Okay.
When you get done there, come.
This thing, let's see, I don't remember. I bought it probably late 2009. This is 12, probably about 12 and a half inches wide and 12 inches long. So it will cut 12 by 12 paper really well. It will cut multiple sheets, up to about 4 sheets at a time you can cut with this. My husband, he would use this a lot, and he would grab it here and pick it up and carry it off, and the handle would fall off and the trimmer would hit his toe. Ow! So I ended up, no, I didn't. I thought I glued it on, but this would come off in his hand. And that's not pleasant. Now, the problem that I have with this trimmer, the markings. I'll have to see how I can, okay. Here in the middle. And this is the same as what's up here at the top. Metric measurements are on the top here, and inches are on the bottom, and that's the same with what's up here. Metric is on the top and inches are on the bottom. Sometimes these grooves here, sometimes these grooves line up with like 6 inches. Not always. And when you want to go in between something, so this one you kind of have to guess at where you are. So when I'm cutting several sheets of cardstock, and I need to make several different cuts, sometimes they're not precise. One of them will be a little bit longer than the other one, always. This is by Tonic Studios. I don't remember if I told you who it is. But I do like this. This is a good heavy-duty paper trimmer. This will cut through some chipboards, not all of them. There are some chipboards you stick one and then you have to bang, 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 bang down several times to get the chipboard to cut through, and then you have a really nasty mess. But some chipboards, especially the cardboard packaging stuff, this will cut just like regular paper. Cereal boxes, this will cut really well, no problems. It just the thicker chipboard. So this one, I will give this one 4.5 stars. It cuts really, really super good, and I don't have to worry about blades because this is a self-sharpening blade. I don't have to buy new blades all the time, or several times a year, whatever. The measurements in between on this grid system here are not quite so accurate. You kind of have to eyeball them. And you can follow the top and here in the middle, but if your paper ends down here, there is another measurement down here that's inches and then centimeters. But if your paper doesn't reach all the way down there, you have to kind of guess where you are. So I'll take 0.5 star off on that. But I really like this paper trimmer, and I use this. I use this frequently. So these two are my most favorite paper trimmers. I use these almost all the time. What is your favorite paper trimmer? And if someone asked you, hey, I think I need a paper trimmer, what would you recommend? So Tell me, what would you recommend to someone that's in the market for a paper trimmer? And why? Why would you recommend that? What is your favorite paper trimmer? And if you have more than one, why? And if you're anything like I am, which are your non-favorite trimmers? So for now, this is Leslie from Message in a Fold, and I'm just going to say bye.